Welcome to the Rabbit Hole Fantasy Football Podcast. Thoughts, analysis, and information to help you succeed in your fantasy football leagues. I am your host, Chad Lyon, and I am here with special guest, Nick Hunsicker.
What's going on?
And our producer, Mitchell Bird.
Hello, hello.
And this is our Week 3 Sunday late afternoon game, Sunday Night Football, and Monday Night Football preview. Nick.
What's up?
Welcome to the podcast, buddy.
Super excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, buddy, anytime. I hope this becomes more normal going forward.
Absolutely.
Thursday Night Football happened last night.
Sure did.
Aaron Rodgers played like he's 25.
Looked good.
He looked real
good.
Looked fantastic. When the camera zoomed in, he looked like an old man. And then it dropped back, and then he would the camera would pull back. Aaron Rodgers gets a snap. He drops back, and I'm like, oh, man, he's looking to move around the pocket. Oh, he's running. He looks like he's 25.
Yeah.
It is insane.
Yeah.
Man, the velocity on the ball is still there. Effortless flips of the wrists.
I mean, off-balance throws. He looks so good. Every throw was almost perfect.
Ty said last podcast, this team runs through Breece Hall. It does.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it does. It was nice to see Garrett Wilson get something going last night. When they threw that ball, when Rodgers hit him and he fell just shy,
yeah.
My wife was sitting right next to me on the couch, and I said, he's going right back to him.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, he's a Green Bay fan, and he said the same thing. I knew he was going. He did that to Devontae all the time. When it was right there and he didn't quite get it, he'd go right back to him. And he's right. He went right back to him. And what an awesome throw and catch by those two, with Gonzalez draped all over Garrett Wilson.
It's an elite corner.
He is.
That's an elite corner that you went up over. I mean,
Garrett Wilson has played a lot of elite corners, I believe, so far this year. I want people to be patient with him because this thing is coming. There's a lot of analysts out there. I'm looking at it right now on my screen. I won't say the name of the analyst, but why blank is disappointed in Garrett Wilson. I'm not disappointed.
no.
Listen, people are going to say, well, he's supposed to be elite. And it's like, he is elite. Like, give it a moment. He played San Fran, Tennessee, and New England. Like, give him a minute.
Crazy defenses.
Yes, give the guy a second.
Yeah.
Coming up, he's got Denver. He's got Minnesota. He's got Buffalo. The Pittsburgh will be tough. Right back to New England again. But there's games in like Arizona and Indy and Seattle and like Jacksonville, Rams later in the year. Like there's going to be really good games here. Like his playoff schedule: Jacksonville, Rams, Buffalo. I don't have any issues there.
No, I want him for the playoffs.
So you got to stay patient.
Yeah. This week was his floor, like his true floor. He might have scored less last week, but this is his true floor against an elite corner. I think Christian Gonzalez is an elite.
He is
corner.
An elite corner.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. As the game was going, I'm like, man, because I have Garrett Wilson in a league that I'm trying to win this year. It's a dynasty. It's a weird league. There's no reason to try to get into it. But he's my receiver one, and I'm watching last night, and I'm like, come on, dude, what is going on? And then it hit me. I was like, oh, wait, Christian Gonzalez is all over him. Then I started thinking more. It's like, oh, wait a second. He played Tennessee, and he played San Fran. It's just been a tough schedule to start. He is elite, the most elite of receivers. You ever see Mike Evans play against Lattimore? Like, it's a thing. So be patient. Any issues going forward with Aaron Rodgers as a lower end quarterback for your fantasy team?
I like him as a super flex. I have him as a super flex on my team. I have him stacked with Garrett Wilson. So
I like it. I like it. No, boy. So I've been talking about Ramondre Stevenson. I think he was a sell high and the window might have gotten missed. And the only reason I said that, like, how far can this team really go with Jacoby Brissett and that receiving core? And like, I don't know, man. I know what their mentality is. Like, we're going to play defense and we're going to run the ball. And it's like, well, the problem is you can play defense and that's fine, but you're going to get stacked boxes now, like going forward. And it's just, he was a sell high.
Yeah.
You might have missed it.
Demario Douglas becomes an option at some point because, like you said, they're stacking the box. I think he's a better flex option than people might think.
Just not today, maybe.
Yeah, just not yet. But it is coming. He complained about his targets. The fans complained about his targets, and he got targets this week.
Fast.
He's fast. He's shifty. He's a perfect slot receiver. It's a little short, but he's perfect.
I think a lot of the problem really, like maybe when Drake May gets in there, you start seeing a little more out of the receiving core. Hunter Henry was a little disappointing.
I started him in a league. Really expected big things out of that.
Me too. I think we beat the drum for him a little bit on the previous podcast, but I just, we picked him over Goddard. I think we picked him over Freiermuth. I know I did. I don't know that it really worked out. I actually didn't end up seeing what his final output was.
4.46, something like that.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
I mean, no,
not enough.
You might as well have started all these other guys at that point. So that's a bummer.
Not good.
All right, that's Thursday night game. It was mainly all Jets. So let's move on to our top 3 list here. Nick's first top 3. Nick, give me your top 3 comedians.
Yeah, so I got Tom Segura, Bert Kreischer. I love the Two Bears, One Cave podcast.
Good podcast.
They're my go-to. Girlfriend and I, we love them.
Nice.
Eddie Murphy is my third option.
Throwback.
Love it.
I remember watching, I don't remember the name of it. It's where he wears the red jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And he's
can't
I got
say any
some
of that.
ice cream. Hey, you don't got none, right?
Classic.
Parents and I would watch that. We loved it. It was like a bonding thing, So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
love
great.
Eddie Murphy.
How about you, Mitchell?
For me, I'm going to go with Bill Burr, number 1. A pissed off comedian.
Love it, man.
He
That's so
speaks my
awesome.
mind for me. I'm like, man, I wish I could say some of that stuff as well as he does. But I guess Ralphie May can be my number 2. The big man, rest in peace. Love the guy. And another rest in peace, Robin Williams.
He was good,
His
man.
stand-up was fantastic. I love him in movies, but his fantastic stand-up was
Great impressionist.
Oh, incredible.
So
Insane.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome.
Yeah.
My top 3 is Bill Hicks. I mean, he'd come up through in the 80s. He's famous for being on a Tool album, which not a lot of people know. Dave Chappelle is my 2.
Classic.
Love Dave Chappelle. I love his old stuff, but I really like his new stuff a lot.
Yeah.
And big fan of Bill Burr. I couldn't leave him off.
Yeah.
There you go.
Like I tried finding like, come on, there's got to be, and there's plenty of other guys that I like. But Bill Burr, man, like, dude, I just laugh so hard. Like I watched Paper Tiger so many times. It's such an awesome stand-up.
He's just that way all the time, though. You see him in podcasts and
it's
interviews,
yeah.
like on the side of the street, you're going to get the same Bill Burr on stage.
That is
Like,
him.
The dude is just that way. I love it.
Yeah.
I love I loved him on Rogan's podcast. When Rogan brought something up about COVID, and he's just like, Joe, can we just not go there, man? Like, do we really got to go? Why you got to do this, man?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where he is. It's awesome, man.
Oh, he's awesome.
There's a lot of other like pieces I'd love to bring up, but I probably shouldn't on this podcast. Before we move on to the Sunday late afternoon games, I do want to touch on one more quick thing from Thursday night. Is Lazard and Conklin. I didn't touch on those. I meant to. Do you think, is the Lazard thing going to happen when Garrett Wilson is locked up?
Yes. He's a reliable target for Aaron Rodgers.
He is. Trust him.
Yeah, he trusts him.
And what do we like? I think it's going to be spotty though.
Yeah, it's on days where Garrett Wilson's on a number 1 corner and he's getting shadowed all game.
I mean, that's something to think about going forward. Like, oh, he's playing, this elite corner this week. Maybe you flex Lazard. What do we think about Tyler Conklin? He's still going to be spotty. It was just one of those games.
I think so. Depends on the linebacker who's going to be shading him all game, I guess.
But with the tight end landscape, how it is, like if Conklin's available, I think he's an ad after this.
You
week.
have, yeah.
You got it.
It's tough for tight ends right now.
It is. Okay, I just wanted to touch on that real quick. As we were doing the top 3, I'm like, there's 2 huge things I don't even bring up. So I wanted to touch on that real quick. All right, let's get into the Sunday late afternoon games, and we will start with the Dolphins at the Seahawks. Well, here comes the Skylar Thompson-led Dolphins. Do you think, Nick, that Tyreek and Waddle can surprise us a little this week, maybe?
They run enough gadget plays. I wouldn't see how they don't get them the ball. I think A-Chain probably steals the show, but they're going to get targets no matter what.
It's going to be a lot of underneath, and it's just, I mean, which, again, that's what they do anyway. A lot of yak stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it changes too much.
I don't think so either. It's just, I don't know, man. There's there's obvious concern, as there should be. It just I don't know, man. Seattle defense is 5th against a wide receiver position, but they have played both Denver and New England. So take that with a huge grain of salt.
Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon are legit corners.
They are good, but I don't know that, like, it's hard to base that 5th ranking off of anything when you've played Bo Nix and Jacoby Brissett.
That's for sure.
And they were close games.
They were.
I think both games were within 6 points. So I don't know. I got to see. And the problem is, like, we would get a better taste, but Skylar Thompson's playing, so it's
you just don't know.
It might take a whole other week to get another feel for the Seahawks defense. Though you're right. Woolen's a really good corner.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to say they're a world-beating defense, though, but again, the Skylar Thompson thing just makes it real tough. I just wonder if he can be somewhat competent enough to where these two receivers, especially Hill, can have a respectable day. Can we get a respectable day from Hill?
I think there's enough screens.
Enough volume.
How hard is it to throw 5 yards to your left, right? Get Tyreek Hill on the move.
Yeah. We'll find out if Skylar Thompson can do it soon enough.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't bench Tyreek Hill.
No, you don't.
You can't. And maybe this just kind of downgrades Waddle to like a flex. I don't know if that's really a downgrade. It's still kind of
where I have him anyway.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Does he stay there, or do you downgrade from flex?
I'd consider downgrading.
I
think Tyreek Hill gets the targets, and when he doesn't, A-Chain's going to get him out of the backfield.
I would have to agree. That's a good call. And again, let's touch on A-Chan. You brought him up. So with all that said, I expect a lot of opportunities for the Miami backfield, namely Devon A-Chan. Mostert's downgraded to doubtful. I think A-Chan could have a great day, just volume-based alone. Like we said, due to Skylar Thompson's situation. As far as fantasy goes, I would imagine that it's a clear bump for A-Chan with Tua gone, with Mostert out. Like, come on, dude. We all saw the usage when Tua went down last week.
Yeah, you have to think 18 carries, 20 plus touches.
You would think so. Oh man, I think he had 7 receptions.
Yeah.
So I mean, I would say
25
touches.
25 touches
would not be surprising.
Just volume.
Yeah. Ramondre Stevenson had a solid performance against the Seahawks defense last week. So, and they're right now considered 13th against the run. Listen, he catches, he runs with the ball. He's great efficiency too. 4.4 yards per carry versus Buffalo last week. And I think A-Chan finds plenty of room here for like a pretty awesome fantasy.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm taking anybody, it's definitely him out of that game.
Okay. Geno Smith is fine for Superflex.
Serviceable.
2 QB leagues.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Outside of that, no interest?
No, I don't think. Not against Miami, I don't think.
Good D-backs.
Yeah, I don't think so.
But Superflex, you could do worse, I think. Nick, which Seahawks receivers do you prefer this week?
I love JSN this week.
My man.
Yes. Dude, I love JSN. Finally broke out last week. You have to think that DK is going to be covered by Ramsey. They're going to be a little too busy fist fighting like they normally do when they play each other.
Yeah.
And then you still have Fuller on the other side who's going to cover Lockett. Those two are going to get shadowed all game. Leaves JSN wide open.
Yeah. And, I didn't see any recent injury stuff here, but I know DK was dealing with a hand up and there's no more tags, and Lockett's doesn't have any, he don't have any more tags either. I think that was thigh for Lockett and a hand for DK, but their tags are gone. So what you said will hold. Those corners will be on those two. And
he's one of the best slot receivers in the game.
He's so good. It's just, we just haven't got to like really see it yet, but it's coming.
Last week was a glimpse.
Yes. Oh, so pumped after that. He was one of my breakouts this year. And I was so pumped, man. And give me JSN too. Mm-hmm. I think he starts to slowly overtake things here. I'm sticking with the breakout call. With all that said, the Dolphins are 6th against the wide receiver position. But where you took JSN, you can just flex him.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
Fantastic.
And you're comfortable flexing him.
Yep, you're going to do it with confidence. I think he finishes better than his counterparts, both those guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
72.7% slot snap rate. That's what you want to see with Ben Grubb calling plays, man.
Absolutely.
26.5 target share. I'm all in.
Give me JSN this
Give me
week.
JSN too. Kenneth Walker is doubtful with an oblique injury, so faith level stays the same here with Charbonnet.
Yeah. Charbonnet was definitely serviceable last week.
It's fantastic handcuff.
Yeah.
He's very important handcuff too. High end flex RB2, lower end RB2.
I put him in the higher end.
Higher end
yeah,
RB2?
I can see him getting a good amount of touches this week.
Sometimes I'm a little too conservative with those calls. I don't want to be too wrong, but yeah,
I'm not afraid to be the guy.
yeah. No, I mean, why not? I don't see why he could. This defense he's up against is not a world beater.
No,
especially against the run.
Yeah.
So as of today, they're 26th against the running back position.
Not
so
good.
Yeah, pretty high on Charbonnet. Any interest here in DSTs?
No.
I don't think so either.
It might be an explosive game.
It could be
even with Skylar
one.
Thompson at the helm for the Dolphins. It could still be a big game.
Listen, guys like Hill, guys like Achane, and guys like, they know that it's just like, we need to, do our best to do some serious damage when the ball hits our hands. And they know the yak game, and that's what they're all about. And we're just going to see more of it without Tua. So here goes nothing. All right, let's move on to the Panthers at the Raiders. Andy Dalton. Let's go. The Red Rocket. Does this do anything for you as far as pass catchers go?
It changes a lot, actually. So Bryce Young has 0 touchdowns and 8 interceptions against zone coverage.
Okay.
That's very not good. Last year, Andy Dalton only started one game. He faced zone coverage 81% of the time, and he had 361 yards on 58 attempts for 2 tutties.
Great.
That's very good. It was against the Seahawks defense. So that's a big deal. I looked it up. The Raiders run zone defense 61% of the time. I think Andy Dalton can be started this week. I really do. And his favorite target for that one game was Adam Thielen. Had 14 targets, 11 catches, 145 yards, and a touchdown.
Wow. So when you say he can be started, you mean in Superflex, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's not your QB1.
Okay.
But he's definitely a super flex.
Maybe this helps Deontay Johnson.
Yeah, he has the highest win rate against zone coverage for the Panthers this season, so that definitely opens him up.
Okay. Just more competency here.
Yeah.
Period.
A veteran.
Yes. And listen, he's not like, he's not making you scream and jump and yell, but listen, this helps the guys around him.
It does.
The Raiders are 22nd against the run right now. So many injuries going on in the running back realm and just the whole fantasy realm, period. Does Hubbard warrant a flex start in a pinch this week with all these injuries?
Chuba Hubbard's a name that when I hear it, I don't like it.
I know.
I don't know if that's because of the line for Carolina. I don't know. I don't know if I can start him.
What is the line? Do you know off the top of your head?
Ike Ekwonu. It's like the only one I even know on that line. I don't know.
Yeah, Ike's the only one that he's the only one that I have any familiarity with.
Yeah. It's not a good line.
Okay. So you're just like out on Chuba.
If you have to.
It's a pinch thing.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have to.
Okay. No interest at well, you talked about Dalton, but really there's no interest outside of deeper super flex leagues as far as quarterbacks in general, both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Zamir White.
I love Zamir White.
Listen, he does something here, I'm out.
Yeah, this has to be the week. The Panthers are 31st against the rush. You have to explode this week or people will give up.
I'm giving up if he doesn't.
Yeah.
Dude, teams have run all over Carolina so far. And be it those players were Alvin Kamara and my boy J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah. That's fair.
But you got to be able to get something done against this rush defense, man, or against this running defense.
You have to, or it's the Madison show, which is scary because I'm going Zamir White. this week. I hope that they use him. But they love Madison. They see something.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. I don't know. To me, he's a flex, but like he has to remain low end until something shows. But I will start the guy.
Yeah.
Because of, the opportunities he should get and the defense he's playing against.
Hopefully they get up to a big lead and he eats after that.
I hope so, man. As far as the Raiders pass catchers go, you start Devontae, you start Brock Bowers, and that's it.
Yeah.
You can't do Jacoby.
I have him sitting on my bench. It's the most comfortable I'm getting with him.
Panthers have been awful thus far against tight ends, by the way. 30th against the position. So solid day for Bowers.
Is it ever not a solid day for Brock Bowers?
It's been great.
Yeah.
It's been great so far. This is a rare rookie tight end thing,
Yeah.
Start the Raiders D.
You start any defense that plays the Panthers at this rate, even
Strong
with
agree.
Andy Dalton.
Strong agree. All right, let's move on to the 49ers at the Rams. So these two teams are both beat up right now bad. Kittle's dealing with a hamstring injury. He's been downgraded to doubtful. Debo's out. He's not playing. Obviously, CMC's on IR. On the other side, you got Kupp, who looks like he's probably headed to IR, and Nakua on IR. A lot of people are in a pinch here. Luckily, if you had CMC and you were paying attention, you also have Jordan Mason.
Hopefully.
I really like him this week. I like him any week, but I really like him this week.
I think preseason we thought it was going to be that Guarendo.
Yep.
But clearly Jordan Mason's a legit running back.
Oh, yeah.
20 touches every week so far. I mean, it's only 2 weeks in, but 20 touches is not something to scoff at.
That.
No,
not at all. Listen, the Rams have been hammered on the ground this year by Detroit and Arizona. I don't see why Jordan Mason can't snag 18 PPR points or better this week.
Yeah.
One thing the 49ers are not afraid to do is run the ball. And this kid and this offense, it's the real deal. 5.3 and 5 yards per carry in each of the first 2 weeks versus the Jets and the Vikings. 48 carries over the last 2 weeks. So, yeah, sit back and enjoy that.
It's a lot of volume.
Yep, it is, and that's what we asked for. You want volume and opportunity. That equals points. You're obviously starting Ayuk. You would expect a bump here. 5 targets in week 1 and 5 in week 2. Like, I have to imagine that essentially doubles, right?
Has to. Debo and Kittle out automatically bumps him up to at least 10 targets, you'd hope.
Well, you would think it also bumps up Juwan Jennings.
Absolutely.
Is he an easy flex? Like an easy flex? Or is the Niners do a lot of things, man.
It's a lot of gadgety plays.
Right, and with the way things are, he still could have like 3 targets and a catch.
Yeah, and it could be a touchdown. That's the
Sure.
thing. Like, did it in the Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
he's not a slouch of a receiver.
He's
it's
great
just
in
he's
a
got
pinch.
yeah. He's
When they
got
call on
guys in
him-
front of him.
Yeah, right. That's the problem. But in a pinch with everything that's going on, injuries across the league, it's insane by week 3 already. It's nuts. I don't remember it being this bad this early in a while.
That's another thing I feel like we say every year.
it really?
Yeah,
You
I
think
feel
so?
like man, so many injuries already. But I said that last year, I'm sure.
Sure, probably so. Just like, man, when are the points going to get going? It's like that's probably every year.
I gotta feel it out.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll flex Juwan Jennings. You will too?
I'd be interested in it, yeah.
Okay. Start Purdy if you have to. No issues there.
Yeah.
Avoid Stafford
Yeah. Just lack of people to throw the ball to.
on top of who he's playing. Division games are weird too.
Yeah.
Demarcus Robinson. He's really your only interest as far as receivers go, right? This week.
It's the only person standing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only one you feel like you can like semi rely on in the flex. Otherwise, it's like Tyler Johnson, Jordan Whittington, who, by the way, I really do like in Dynasty.
Jordan Whittington's gonna be good.
He gets out of bed angry.
Yeah.
He plays angry, man.
He's gonna be a good receiver.
Yep, I think
give
so
him time.
too. And then you got Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as redraft goes, man, like I think you can flex DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'm kind of worried about Kyron Williams this week. And I think that's reasonable with the Rams' current offensive issues, right?
Yeah. He I'm sure he gets volume, but what he does with that volume might not be enough.
I mean, you have to start him.
Yeah.
And I am.
Me too.
But that doesn't mean you have to feel good about it.
No, I don't. But I mean, it's the 49ers defense. Anytime you have any guys going up against them, you're panicking a little bit.
Fair point. Even if you have Kupp and or Nakua, it's like that defense is so good.
Doesn't feel good.
And it's a division game too. And
I never like them.
No, they're scary. They're weird games.
Anybody can win those games.
You're damn right. How about Colby Parkinson in deeper leagues?
I'm good with it. I like Colby. Seems like he's becoming a little bit of a useful tight end.
Somewhat reliable.
Yeah, compared to what the tight end landscape is right now.
Yeah, and even in a 12-man, like maybe you have Evan Ingram. You could do worse than Parkinson, I think. Again, with the situation the Rams are currently in with pass catchers. So, if he's the best you can get, that's okay. Mm-hmm. He could genuinely see a little uptick, I think.
Yeah.
Start the Niners, D?
Absolutely.
100%. All right, let's move on to the Lions at the Cardinals. I hope that this game is as awesome as it seems like it should be in my head.
Looks good on paper.
It sure does. Like, it seems like there could be some serious fantasy points on, for both teams.
Both teams. Defenses aren't that great.
Yeah. And starting with the Cardinals, certainly Marvin Harrison Jr. will not repeat last week. That's 3 touchdowns that quick. And that's
okay. He won't do.
You can't lean on that.
Yeah, he's not going to do that. But
I'm feeling wide receiver 1 numbers.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
Soft Detroit secondary. Like you said before we started, I thought the same thing. I thought they were going to be better, but it doesn't seem that way.
They drafted Terrion Arnold. You think that helps? I guess not.
Yeah. Right now it's not.
Yeah.
Flexing Dortch if he plays, or Michael Wilson?
Michael Wilson is a flex, in my opinion, going against the Lions.
Takes one ball. One ball.
Yep.
If Dortch doesn't play, he's dealing with a hamstring injury. Bump for Wilson?
Yeah, wide receiver 2.
2?
Yeah, they're going to throw all over this defense.
True.
Yeah,
Speaking of that, Detroit can be tough against the run.
They can be.
You're starting James Conner. Don't get cute, but should we temper expectations a little bit or full confidence straight ahead?
Temper your expectations.
I think so too.
He'll be okay. He's serviceable. Okay. You never know when he's going to steal a touchdown on the one,
He looks better out of the backfield than what people give credit for as far as catching the ball too.
Yeah.
So like this could turn into a thing. Maybe he has 5 targets.
It's always possible.
I
want to know when they're going to get Trey Benson work.
Well, it's going to take James Conner to not be there.
I think so too.
It's his. We've been talking about that. It's his show, man. Until otherwise, like injury or whatever, it's James Conner's show 1,000%.
He's a legit running back. You can't argue it.
He's had a resurgence, man. This is better than what I remember in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
and he's older.
I don't remember. Last year was a great year for James Conner.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, you're starting the guy, but just maybe temper expectations a little. Detroit can be tough on the run.
Yeah.
Trey McBride, I expect to be great. I think he's on the verge of earning the title elite tight end, and in no time will be a top 3 tight end.
Yeah.
Detroit shows 3rd against the tight end position right now, but they played the Bucs and the Rams, and they don't use their tight ends. So that number is a complete mirage as far as I'm concerned. So for anyone seeing that and having any doubt, you shouldn't. Please don't. Mm-mm. Don't ever have doubt on Trey McBride. You start that dude every single week.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be awesome.
Yeah. I had him ranked tight end 1 this year going in. I wanted him in every league I could get him in. Didn't get him in any of them.
Oh, no.
That's how it goes.
I'm never ready to take the tight ends during a draft when everybody else is.
Yeah.
I never get those guys.
Starts to fall.
I always got to trade for them.
Get somebody later. Yeah.
I'll just take Dallas Goedert. Yeah, that's worked out great.
Yeah.
Starting Kyler.
Yep.
And Goff, or maybe not so much Goff on the road.
Super flex, maybe. Arizona's not good.
Jared Goff or Anthony Richardson? After what we saw last week.
After last week?
And he's playing the Bears. Richardson.
Jared Goff.
You would take Jared Goff?
Yeah, I'd take Jared Goff, even with the running upside.
God. Give me Richardson.
Yeah.
Just give me Richardson with the leg.
With
upside.
The legs, yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. It's close, for sure.
Yeah, I'll take Richardson there.
Yeah.
But you're definitely starting Kyler. That's no brainer.
Yeah, 100%.
Another big target week for both St. Brown and Jameson, or does Laporta get in on this one finally? Like,
Laporta's got to break out eventually.
you would think
You
so.
you have to use him. I don't even know if he's got a red zone target this year.
I
don't.
don't think he does, man.
I don't think I've seen one throw to him in the red zone. That's not good. That's a problem. He's showed last year that he's a legit tight end one. Throw him the football.
Yeah, I don't understand. Arizona shows 6th against the tight end position, but again, they played Buffalo and they played the Rams. It does make me wonder, though, like, was that defense part of the reason why Kincaid and Knox were just like, blech, but maybe not because they've been blech every single week.
Both weeks they've been blech. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we got to see Laporta get more involved here. Like, come on, man. By the way, this is for you, Tyler. You're not here, but last week I said I needed to see more before I called Jameson a wide receiver 2. He's a wide receiver.
He's a wide
too.
receiver too. Yeah.
Tyler, I'm with you now, buddy. Cardinals have been quite tough on the road. Held James Cook on the ground. Sorry. Cardinals have been quite tough on the ground. Held James Cook to 13 PPR points, Kyron to 14.
Serviceable numbers.
Still serviceable.
Yeah, serviceable numbers.
But again, neither of those teams have near the kind of weaponry that Detroit has.
No.
So
a two-headed monster.
I don't think there's any reason to worry about that. And you just have all the confidence in the world in Gibbs and Montgomery.
In one of my leagues, I drafted both of them. I start both of them.
Yep.
I start redraft. Monty and Gibbs.
I tried getting Monty off you.
Not
going to happen.
I love that stack.
Yeah. Listen, both of these guys are just awesome. Like, what a tandem.
Yeah.
It's the best I've seen in a while as far as a 1-2 punch goes. And there's seemingly plenty of work for the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Even then, it's more what they do with each touch they get.
Yeah. They are two totally different backs.
They are.
So that dynamic works. Jamal Williams and Jonathan Stewart? No, not Jamal Williams. D'Angelo Williams.
Yes.
And Jonathan Stewart in Carolina.
Yeah.
Perfect tandem. That's what the Lions have, but they're even better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jahmyr Gibbs is so good.
He's so good. They just seem to maximize every single touch.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
So DSTs, avoid both?
Not interested.
Yeah, me neither. All right, let's move on to the Ravens at the Cowboys. Dude, Dak needs to find a way to be better.
Yeah.
Is it me, or does it seem like this isn't the week?
No.
Ravens home.
Ravens defense is amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you even want to consider any Cowboys outside of CeeDee Lamb right now?
No.
Other than deeper leagues like 14 plus.
Jake Ferguson.
Well, yeah, because he seems like he's going to play. Maybe him coming back helps.
I hope. For fantasy purposes, not for...
Yeah, not for real life.
Yeah, not for real life, but fantasy purposes, Jake Ferguson.
He seems like he needs
should open it up.
Big, reliable something right there in the middle. I don't know. No interest in Brandon Cooks or Jalen Tolbert in the flex.
Too boomer bust, like way too boomer bust. Brandon Cooks could have one catch for 45 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, give me that and a 14 plus.
Yeah, I would be okay with that.
Not Tolbert though. I'm not ready to.
Not yet.
But overall, I'm trying to stay away. I'm staying away from the running game. I have got zero interest in it whatsoever.
I don't even know who's the running back one any given week.
I have no idea.
Because you think Zeke and then you don't.
I mean, look, if you're looking for 4 fantasy points, these are your guys.
Yeah.
Outside of that, man, I don't know what to tell you. Stay away.
Yeah.
Obviously, you start Lamar. Zay Flowers is a smash start wide receiver 2 with one upside. And if I could, I would make him my start of the week every single week.
PPR machine.
He's an animal. I don't care what corner he's dealing with either, other than maybe Sauce Gardner. But like the Diggs does not worry me one bit here. It's how they get him the ball that makes him so great. Yeah. It's always in space. They let him work with the ball in space. They hit, behind the line of scrimmage. They'll throw it to him 50 yards downfield, trying to rip the top off. He's so universal.
Mm-hmm.
He's just awesome. But with that said, I have no interest in any other wide receivers here. None. Like, how can you?
And you shouldn't any week.
But again, Zay Flowers, like, don't even consider benching this guy.
No.
Ever.
Never.
He's
especially in a PPR league.
Yeah, he's that dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially in a PPR league, right. Tight ends. Likely or Andrews this week? Is this
It's a hard dynamic. It seems like they love Isaiah Likely. It seems like they still love Mark Andrews. They still want to use him. Week one worked so well for Isaiah Likely. You think that that's what they would go with, but then Mark Andrews was better last week.
I don't get this. I just want to. But the problem is, like, people out there have Andrews. And they have Likely. Like, I feel like you have to start him and you just cross your fingers.
Yeah.
Because what are you going to go? Like, are you going to play Colby Parkinson over these guys off the waiver?
No.
Right.
No, so I would take both of them over Colby.
All right. Cowboys defense has been middle of the road versus a tight end position, ranking 16th so far. So just important to note, it's not great. They should be fine. If you start them, like, if they get low points, it's not because the Cowboys defense locked them up. It's just because the ball disbursement was weird, and that's just what you're going to have to deal with. You start Derrick Henry every week and don't think about it.
Yeah.
But I do think it's possible there is like a touchdown or bust problem going on here. What do you think?
I feel like it's been like that for a while.
You think so?
I go back to last year with that. 50 yards is fine. You get me 50 yards and a touchdown, that's great.
Where's those? I feel like last year was more like, this team is garbage.
Yeah.
Because I got used to seeing those like 45-yard touchdown runs where Henry's just swatting dudes off him. Like, that was a thing.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know if last year was so much like, well, he's touchdown or bust because of his own doing. I think it was touchdown or bust because, Will Levis, DeAndre Hopkins is getting old.
Yeah.
They didn't really have anything else.
Yeah, so they gave the guy 25 rushes and kind of ran him into the ground.
Yeah.
But we've also said he was getting run into the ground for 3 years, and it seems like he never stops.
People forget too, man. He sat behind DeMarco Murray. It was almost like almost 2 full seasons.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
So like, there are those 2 years that aren't technically tread off the tires. Like, he just kind of hung out. He was standing on the sideline.
Right.
But yeah, I just you start him, but it could be 40 yards and a touchdown. I mean, it just. Maybe we wait for things to open up. I haven't looked at the schedule. Maybe things soften up a little bit, but he is still going to have to deal with Pittsburgh twice.
And don't like that.
Don't like that at all. Start the Ravens defense, if any.
If you're going to start one, I guess.
It's the Ravens.
Yeah, it's the Ravens defense.
I'm not starting the Cowboys defense. All right, let's move on to Sunday Night Football. The Chiefs at the Falcons. This game has potential to be a fun game.
Mm-hmm.
It really could be. And you feel a little better about Kirk Cousins watching that Eagles game.
Yeah.
I mean,
play action looked better.
Yes, he's under center now.
Footwork just looked better.
I'm hoping that it's the fantasy output that it could be. But
Should be big.
I'm not sure yet.
I think the Falcons want to show that the Eagles game wasn't a fluke. They didn't just win that on a whim.
Yeah, Kirk was pumped.
Yeah.
Boy, was he pumped. I love how, like, he just kind of pumped his fist lightly, then got over to the sideline and spiked his helmet, and he's like, yeah!
You like that?
You like that? So I know Mahomes' fantasy outpoint has not been very good, but you have to start this guy if you have him. Like, don't get cute and do something goofy like, oh, I'm going to start Gardner Minshew this week, Andy. Don't. I'm going to go pick up Jared Goff. No, don't.
He was the first
Mahomes.
Quarterback off the board in most draft leagues.
Yes.
You start him.
And as soon as you don't, you'll miss out.
Yeah.
But with that said, this is exactly why I try to deflect people from drafting some of these top tier quarterbacks so early. Derek Carr has schooled Mahomes in fantasy output. And you're like, he was absolutely free.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't even get drafted.
Yeah.
Beware the early quarterbacks. If anyone out there is like new to this, avoid that. You can get so many good quarterbacks later in your draft. That said, he's fine. He'll get you around 18 fantasy points or so, but it could also be 32.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, you start him every single week. And I think he's only put out like roughly 15 points a week at this point. But things will get better. It is Pat Mahomes and an Andy Reid offense with ridiculous weapons and a great defense. Things will come.
They're going to figure it out.
Sure. Rashee Rice is an easy wide receiver to start with one upside every single week.
Every week.
Worthy flex candidate every week with ridiculous upside.
Ridiculous upside, yes.
But not flex every week.
He scares me. 1 week he'll have 2 touchdowns. The next he gets 2 targets.
Tyler feels the same way.
Yeah.
He's pretty cautious with Worthy. Tell you what, Worthy in a dynasty though, that's a
you have to have him in a dynasty.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What in the hell do we do about Travis Kelce?
Don't panic.
Is he a buy low candidate?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
If you can snag him for, I don't know, something that don't hurt you.
Yeah.
Something that's not hurting you leaving your roster. Like, do you do that?
I'm okay with that. And then, especially if you already have a decent enough tight end, you can stash Kelce until they start using him again. They're going to figure that out. It's Travis Kelce.
Do you think Pacheco not being there helps, or do you think they just give Carson Steele and these guys like Pacheco's role?
I like Carson Steele. I don't think you trust him with the Pacheco role. They're going to have to spread that ball around. And this is the week to do it. This is a week where Mahomes has like the 30-point game.
You think so? I mean, this could be some back and forth stuff going on.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Is AJ Terrell going to shade one or the other? Is he on Xavier Worthy? Is he on Rashee Rice? I feel like you have to stop Rashee Rice. He's like the Zay Flowers of the Chiefs PPR machine.
Great point.
So you have to shut him down. Maybe Xavier Worthy. Maybe I didn't look into that enough. Xavier Worthy could be a flex this week.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that's where I'm a little different than you and Ty. I will roll the dice pretty well weekly.
Yeah.
With Worthy. I'm not afraid to, just because like one end around could go for 75 yards and a score. That's all it takes. Like one ball.
Yeah.
Some of these one ball guys like Michael Wilson.
Rashid Shaheed.
Yeah. One ball. That's all it takes. So yeah, buy low on Kelce.
Yeah.
I agree.
Absolutely.
So as far as the running back thing goes, I'm playing dude against you this week. Carson Steele in my league, in my redraft league. Do you avoid this whole KC running back thing?
I don't like it. Especially, I don't know if it was official. Kareem Hunt signed to the practice squad, correct?
He's there.
Mm-hmm. When he gets introduced in, then it's 3 guys going to be splitting the ball.
And is it just going to be like that till Pacheco comes back, you think?
So
if you had to pick one guy, Carson Steele, Kareem Hunt, Samaj Pirine, CEH, or Keontae Ingram?
I think is CEH.
He's still dealing with some stuff.
I think he's dealing with some stuff. Yeah.
Like mental.
Yeah. So
hope that gets better. Of course.
Steele?
Give me Hunt.
When they're going to get him up to speed.
Right now, I want to avoid it.
Yeah, I want to avoid it now.
I don't know. Then again, I don't know if Hunt can handle what he needs to be able to handle to be an every down back. Now, talking to my cousin who's in the podcast league, Tong Po. Wait, did he change his name?
No, I know who you're talking. Yeah,
he changed it though. What's the dude from Bloodsport? Didn't he change it to his name?
I thought
Tong Po is kickboxer.
I thought he still had Tong Po. I could be wrong.
Maybe it was. Pull that up, but
Chong Li.
Yeah, so does Bloodsport. Yeah. Chong Li. Love that movie growing up, dude. I'd watch it every time it came on and get pumped. Like I was like the biggest Van Damme fan as a kid, man. He made a point, Kareem Hunt, third down, better pass blocker. In the bigger situations also, potentially. Yeah. But I kind of agree with him, talking about his age and like, can he hold up to what the Chiefs are going to want him to do? I don't know. But familiarity. Yeah. Give me Kareem Hunt to rise to the top eventually, maybe. Until Pacheco comes back.
He's not going to be Pacheco. but he could probably be serviceable
Watch
enough.
Steele just go off this weekend.
It's possible. He looked good last week when they did play him.
Yeah. It's wait and see approach. That's how it's going to have to be. But I think if you have to and you're in a pinch, I think it's probably okay to flex Steele.
Yeah.
I'm playing him in the RB2 spot. I lost Mixon. I don't have a choice.
Yeah, you don't.
It is what it is. Start Cousins at home in this one?
I don't know, man.
That defense is really good.
It's so good.
All right, Cousins or Goff?
I like Goff this week.
Cousins or Geno?
Now you're getting closer. Probably Cousins this week.
I think I have to,
just because of the two corners.
Yeah. Give me Cousins. Give me Cousins over Geno. Give me Goff over Cousins.
Yeah.
I think we're pretty much on the same page there. Nick, if London has a down-ish game this week and frustrates those who have him on their roster,
I hope you sell him off. I want him.
That was next question. Would you try to buy low?
Yeah.
I would too. I think there's a lot of room to grow between him and Cousins. And I think by mid to late season, you could be really happy that you made that move. I'm curious to see where the numbers are by like week 7, week 8.
Yeah, it's something to monitor for sure.
But the problem is you can't wait till then. So
I do it now.
You need to pay close attention to what the Falcons are doing. Watch for usage. I'm going to start watching him really, really closely.
Yeah.
And I'm going to start crunching numbers with him, and we'll talk. I'm going to watch real close, and we'll talk about that on our reaction show for the whole weekend of games.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a really good chance that we like what we see come mid to late season.
Yeah,
I really do. So I think he's like Kelsey. If he has a bad game this week, I think you should go try to buy
Get him.
Yep. Ray McLeod or Darnell Mooney in the flex, or neither.
Too risky to play either one.
I'll flex McLeod.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm going to do one or the other, I guess it would be McLeod. Mooney should have had a touchdown against the Eagles this weekend.
Did he?
Yeah, dropped the ball going to the corner.
That's right.
It was like the little wheel route thing that they ran within. I think they were inside the 10 when they ran that.
Darnell Mooney scored a touchdown.
Oh, he did score a touchdown.
3 for 88 and a touchdown.
Okay.
Let's see. Ray McLeod. Dude, I'm flexing a guy who gets 12 targets.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it because he doesn't have any
12
other
total
options?
targets.
Why
And
isn't Kyle Pitts getting that?
I don't know, but in 2 weeks, 12 targets, it's 7 and 5 as a flex, and his speed, his to the house deal that he carries with him, man, like that's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with Pitts. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Needs targets. You have to get him the ball.
See, like right there, 4 and 3. That's 7 targets to McLeod's 12. Like I think you can flex Ray McLeod, man. Like I agree with Tyler. He believes like this was supposed to be Rondale Moore.
Yeah.
And McLeod just, dude.
Fits the mold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, man, give me McLeod over Mooney. He sees more targets.
Yeah.
Mooney might be the better receiver, but opportunities, man.
Yeah.
So far, it's been in Ray McLeod's court. So, back to Pitts. Is this the week? I'm so sick of asking this damn question, but is this it?
I don't know. I keep saying the same thing.
Well,
I'm going to get rid of you if you don't do it this week. And then next week comes. I'm going to get rid of you if you don't do it this week. I can't get past him. He's
16 targets last week to the tight end position by Cincinnati. Was that a thing?
No.
Now, Tyler's thought was they just flat out took Chase away.
Yeah.
And they were just hitting the tight ends like literally right out in front of Chase.
They would run and want a fly route, go route, whatever you want to call it. And then they were running, their tight ends were running out routes and in routes wide open over the middle every play. I think it was just a game plan.
Just a game plan thing more than hey, these guys struggle with, attacking the tight end, so we're going to hammer it home. No, it was just a game plan thing.
I think so.
Okay. But, I mean, so you're saying, no, this ain't the week. This is still not going to happen. God dang it, man. I'm leaning on him in the league.
I know. Dude, I love him. He's Unicorn.
Yeah.
That's his nickname, is Unicorn, and we
Right.
haven't seen it since his rookie season.
On volume alone, Bijan should be fine against Kansas City. They're stout. They could make things a little annoying for Bijan at times, but you don't even question this. Interest in any defense here?
No.
Okay. Let's move on to Monday Night Football. The Jaguars at the Bills. Does it feel like the Bills are just going to own Jacksonville in this? Because I really don't want to start anyone outside of ETN.
Yeah, I'm panicking if I'm a Jaguar owner of any sort.
Me too. Buffalo can be pretty tough against the pass. So like even Brian Thomas Jr. is concerning in the flex. I'm avoiding that. You as well?
Yep.
Okay. Then you've got Christian Kirk, Gabe Davis. Ingram looks to be very questionable with that hamstring injury. Did not practice Friday. Other than a healthy Ingram, I don't want to start any of those pass catchers.
If he's out, I want Strange just because of his target share last week.
Deeper league.
Deeper league. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, but like the thing is, like this is most weeks. I just don't want to start these. Not even like necessarily Buffalo. Most weeks, I just don't want to start them. Let alone Jacksonville traveling to Buffalo on a Monday night. No, thanks. I think this actually this doesn't feel good. This could be bad.
Yeah.
Tank Bigsby has been limited in wearing a non-contact jersey even as of Friday. So even if he does play, I imagine it would be a reduced type role. I'm okay with ETN this week based on the volume he could get in both run and pass game. Buffalo's allowed around 150 receiving yards to running back so far, and that's what ETN does. So as much as I've trashed on ETN, like if you got him, you got to start
You
him.
can flex him for a week.
Yeah, but problem is he's RB2 for a lot of teams. It's just where he was
gets drafted too
so
high.
You're going to have to play him there. That's just
Yeah.
how it is. You're starting Josh Allen. You're starting James Cook. And you're doing so happily. You're doing it confidently. Outside of that, where can we find confidence? Shakir, Kincaid, Coleman.
I'm a Keon Coleman believer. I had him as the number 3 receiver coming out of the draft. I love Keon Coleman. He's a go up and get it guy. They have to start finding him the ball. Last week, 0 points. That's not enough.
No. I like Keon Coleman, but it's more dynasty for me.
Yeah.
I don't redraft. I'm not ready. I'm just not there. Is your level of concern for Kincaid growing?
Yeah, I like him this week a lot.
Okay. You know how many snaps he had last week? Ready for this? 19.
That's it?
That's it.
Really?
So I don't understand what that's all about. Now they beat the absolute brakes off the Dolphins. So it probably, oh God, I hope it had something to do with that.
Yeah,
'Cause if it didn't, that's bad if it didn't.
That's not good.
So maybe he gets something going here.
Yeah.
This feels like a good game to get something going.
Feels like the week for it.
Starting the Bills D
Yeah.
with confidence,
Yeah.
obviously.
Unfortunately, I'm a T-Law believer, but
Yeah, and I wish I had more nice things to say about Jacksonville, but I'm just not so sure about this. And I love Dougie P.
yeah,
I'm just not so sure about
thanks
this
for the
whole
Super
thing.
Bowl. But
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
he's going to get fired if he keeps running that offensive coordinator out there.
Yep.
He's going to get canned.
I just think he needs to take over.
Yeah, he needs to run that offense.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for that game. Let's move on to the Commanders at the Bengals. You can start Jaden Daniels and you can start the running backs here, but you cannot start any other skill player for the Commanders. You can't do it.
Terry McLaurin is a wide receiver 1 for a lot of teams
He sure is.
and would get a lot of targets on those teams.
Mhm.
This is not the team.
I wish he wasn't there, man.
Me
'Cause
too.
He's so good.
Very good.
Yeah, it's a bummer. Cincinnati has kept quarterbacks in check for the most part. They've played Mahomes and Brissett. Nick, what's your confidence level in starting Jaden Daniels against the Cincinnati defense?
It's got the legs.
Well,
Leg upside.
Bengals have only allowed 128.5 passing yards per game so far. However, Daniels' damage is essentially done with his legs. So
Yeah.
I mean, are you starting him? Or would you rather avoid? If you can.
Definitely 100% super flex.
Oh, yes.
I'd consider it. Depends on my position, like who I have.
Okay.
I'd probably start him.
All right. Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler. Robinson is a RB2 this week.
Mhm.
Right, you think? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm riding that train.
159.5 average rushing yards allowed per game by Cincy. Austin Eckler's a flex, yes or no? low end.
Low end.
He's the best pass catcher there.
Yeah, which
Right?
is sad.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay, low end flex.
Yeah.
I don't think I can start McLaurin. Like not even as a low end flex. I think he needs the Michael Pittman treatment right now. I think you got to bench this dude until things change.
Yeah.
And I do like they can and will. I think
I thought
It's just-
Jaden Daniels was going to find him
early and often.
early and often, and
Yeah.
it just hasn't come to fruition.
It's a
Seems
patience
like
thing.
Zach Ertz is his guy.
Yeah. He's kind of a steal.
Yeah.
Looking good. Tight end landscape. Give me 10 points all day.
Yeah, seriously.
I'll
I'll take anything I can get.
right now, it's just a patience thing with McLaurin, and no one's going to want him off you.
Yeah.
So, Nick, we're on to Cincinnati.
Oh, boy.
Joe Burrow is due for a solid outing this week, don't you think?
Yeah.
I think he's just going to smash these
Yes.
guys.
Yeah, he's
It's gonna
going
be
to
bad.
tear him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
T. Higgins says he plans to suit up Monday and will play at 100%. So that's good to hear. So it sounds like we get Chase and Higgins both with Burrow. It is going to be a long day through the air for Washington, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
going to be bad.
It's rough.
And it's in Cincy. It's Sunday or Monday night. Dead last against the receiver position.
Yep.
I think they're about to get smoked.
I get smacked around 22nd against the pass. Like, just not a good defense.
No. Any interest in Mike Gesicki here? Or are you just going to stick with the game plan thought from Kansas City and it just, again, with the tight end landscape? But I don't know. Gesicki's never been that.
No. I mean, he had a few weeks in Miami.
Right.
It's never been consistent.
Nope. He was limited the last 2 days with a calf injury. So if you do have him and do plan on, spot starting him for whatever reason, monitor that. But I have to agree with you and Ty. I think this was a game plan thing against Kansas City. I don't think you can't lean on that. Again, there were 16 targets among 3 tight ends just for Cincinnati in that one game. So Gesicki just was, he's the better of the 3.
Yeah.
You have a rookie, you have a second-year guy, and you have him.
All junior looked decent.
With the little bit he had, I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
He looks like an NFL tight end.
Yeah.
We'll see. We're going to have to wait and see on that.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
that's a way down the line.
What do you think? Startable numbers this week for Zach Moss?
Yeah.
I think so.
I can-
This is a good week for Zach Moss. I think.
Absolutely.
How about Chase Brown? Still not. I like him, man. It's just
I like him a lot. I think I like Moss more.
okay.
I might be in the minority there, but I
Well-
like Zach Moss.
Right now, this week, I do like Zach Moss more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's against Washington, so I don't want to get too carried away. I like the prospects of Chase Brown. I really do.
Yeah.
I do. Start the Bengals D.
Yeah.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
No problem.
I'm good with it.
All right, that's all the games. We're going to move on to a little segment here called Nick's Week 3 Boom List. Take it away, buddy.
All right. So QB1 this week, Derek Carr versus the Eagles. Eagles have not looked good, as much as it pains me to say that. They're the 27th ranked pass defense and have already allowed 4 touchdowns to the QBs, third worst in the league. Derek Carr will probably torch the Eagles defense quite a bit. My QB2, Joe Burrow, we just talked about him. Talked about how the Commanders are 22nd. Even if Burrow's wrist was at 20%, I'm starting Joe Burrow in this game. Jordan Mason, 20 touches every week since McCaffrey went out. We went over that. Kind of a must start until further notice, really. Zamir White breakout season. It's here. Panthers might be the worst franchise in all of sports. And although they might be 31st, they did have J.K. Dobbins' explosive game. They did have Kamara, who's been unstoppable so far. Proceed with caution, but I like Zamir White this week. Chris Olave has 8.5 targets per game so far this year. Carr and him will make it happen this week against the Eagles, especially if he's on Slay.
The targets grew a little bit last week.
They did. Yep.
Slay's struggling.
Slay does not look good.
Nope.
And a wide receiver 1, which I believe Chris Olave is, will take advantage. Jamar Chase is finally, air quote, healthy. And he's going to go off. Commanders have St. Juiced and Igbenogany as their cornerbacks. Some of you might be saying who. There's a reason for that. That's my biggest boom of the week is definitely Jamar Chase. He's absolutely getting started. Marvin Harrison Jr. Proved last week that Kyler and him do know how to connect. They can do it. And the Lions, we talked about, are not as improved as we thought they would be. I think the Cardinals are a team that you have to worry about in the NFC West.
I think so.
Yeah.
I agree.
They're a legit team. Talked about how much I love JSN.
Yeah. That's my breakout, baby.
That's the guy. DK is going to be busy fist fighting Jalen Ramsey. Lockett's going to see a heavy dose of Fuller on the other side. JSN, you brought up the slot snaps for him was a high number.
Yeah, let's see. 72.7% slot snap rate.
He's going to eat in that role. He is built to be a slot receiver. This is the game where he proves it.
This is what we hoped for.
Yes.
Ben Grubb calling them plays, man. I'm telling you.
Perfect situation.
Yep.
Tight ends flat out stink this year.
Yep.
Unless you have Bowers. Pretty much it.
Yep.
Kincaid saw multiple targets last week. You did mention he only had 19 snaps. That's a little worrisome. I did want to have Kittle here. Now he's doubtful. So
Yep.
Tight ends are just tough. I don't know who to start when. I'm going Kincaid here on a whim almost.
Okay.
And then if you've watched any football this year, there's three certainties. One, the refs will give the Chiefs a break every single week to protect their golden boy.
Oh, no. I'm going to hear this. Oh, no.
Number two, the Panthers are on pace to be the worst football team ever. Mm-hmm. And three, the Browns defense might be the best defense ever. They are a start every single week. I guarantee I'm going to have the Browns defense here every week.
Fair enough. That's getting wasted, unfortunately, by Deshaun Watson. But
play Jameis.
Please.
I'm with you guys.
Free this guy.
Play Jameis.
Preach it.
All right. Is that your boom list?
That's my boom list.
All right. Boom list commenced. Let's move on to starts of the week. And I'll kick this off with Devin Achane at the Seahawks. We talked about it earlier. I think this is just going to be an insane game for him. I mean, 23 plus fantasy points would not shock me. I think it's going to be a great start. My other start of the week is, as you mentioned, Marvin Harrison versus Detroit. I just think that's a smash start. Easy, no problem, easy peasy. You should be starting him every week anyway. You drafted him where you kind of have to. So that's my starts of the week. Nick, what do you got?
This week I've got Zamir White, like I mentioned.
Yep.
It's a risky pick. Some people might not like it. I love it. Give me Zamir White this week. And JSN's my other one. I really think this week we could see 15 targets, 10 catches again. This is a big week for him.
All right, Bird Person, how about you?
All right, I got to agree with Nick. He said it pretty well. Jamar Chase is going to be my start of the week. As long as he's over that contract poisoning, as Tyler likes to put it. But I think he comes back this week against that Washington weak DB room. He's going to just go off. He's going to forget the money, hopefully, and just play some ball.
Yep.
And I guess my next one will be the Charbonnet show.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go for that against Miami.
The Charbonnet show.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
Yeah, the volume's going to be there. I think that's a great call, Mitchell. Yep. All right, that's it for starts of the week. Let's move on to Tyler's Week 3 DFS picks, read by Nick.
Yeah. Tyler couldn't be here today, so going to take over for him for a week. He's got Derek Carr, QB. Mentioned him. He's my QB1. He's got Mason at running back. It's my running back 1. He's got Tony Pollard this week against Green Bay. They're the 27th ranked defense against running backs. That's only $6,000 for him's not a bad price tag. I'm okay with that.
Smash.
It looks like his big spender is Nico Collins against Minnesota this week. That's $7,300. He's averaging 25.6 points per game right now, and they're the 19th ranked defense against wide receivers. He's got Jalen Naylor. Looks like he had to cut corners a little bit here. It's 4,400.
Important to know, Addison is out.
Addison is out.
So he'll have Jefferson to pull things away from him.
Yes. Naylor looked good last week in replacement of them both when they both went out. He's got Rashid Shaheed. I know he loves Rashid Shaheed. He'll play him every week he can. That's 5,300.
One ball.
One ball's all it takes for him.
Yep.
And against Philly, leaky defense, you take that every week. He's got Jake Ferguson at tight end. We talked about it earlier. I don't mind Jake Ferguson.
When healthy, he's got to be the second target getter.
He has to be.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. That was 4,500 there. Baltimore is the 29th ranked defense against tight ends.
Okay.
So it's worth a start. I like it. He's got Devon A-Chain. He's with you. I think we're all on that train a little bit.
A-Chain train.
A-Chain train. 7,000. Spent a bit there along with Nico. So those are his big spends for the week. And then he's got the Seahawks defense going against Miami. Skylar Thompson, I think, is his.
That's fine. That's his reasoning behind it.
I think it's his reasoning. I don't mind it.
All right.
I like it.
I like. I don't know what I like better: the A-Chain train or the Chase Choo Choo for Chase Brown.
That's true.
I'm not sure. Yeah. All right, that's it for Tyler's Week 3 DFS picks, read by Nick.
Thank you.
Nick, do you have any final thoughts?
Oh man, thanks for having me. I really appreciate this.
Yeah, we're gonna do this more. Tyler will actually be away doing a lot of fishing next week.
Lucky
I
bastard.
believe, right? Isn't that what he's doing?
Yes.
I wish that was me.
In time with family.
Yeah.
You know.
So Mitchell and I will do our reaction show after the slate of games, and then Nick will be here for the next 2 shows next week.
Yeah,
so
let's
that'll
do
be
it.
fun. This is Nick's intro to this. So I think you did a great job, man, and thank you so much for filling in.
Yeah, no problem.
Really important. I know it was literally like hours ago I texted you and you're like, yeah, I'll be there.
I'm in.
It's awesome.
Let's do it.
Mitchell, anything?
Gonna also thank Nick for showing up. On top of that, just our fans listening. Keep on listening. Stick with us. Hopefully the information these guys are providing really helps. And
Yeah.
have
Thanks,
a good
Mitchell.
Sunday.
Mitchell, you do a good job, man. Mitchell goes home after these recordings and he turns them over in a night and gets them out for you guys.
It's the real MVP over there.
Yeah, there it is. I appreciate you, man. All right. That's it for today's show. Again, as always, thank you all so much for tuning in and giving us your support. Remember, our PPR Superflex Dynasty rankings are now available in the description. Just click the corresponding link. They're available as well on our Twitter. Also, check the description for instructions on how to get your trades graded. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our Spotify, Twitter, and YouTube. Join us next time as we react to the Week 3 slate of games. Go get a dub this weekend. Please tell your friends. See you next time, everybody.